Arrival in the floating city. Our adventure began as we stepped off the train at Santa Lucia railway station, greeted by the sight of the Grand Canal shimmering under the afternoon sun. The absence of cars and the gentle lapping of water against the docks immediately set the tone for our Venetian escape. We hopped onto a vaporetto water bus and glided down the Grand Canal, passing under the iconic Rialto Bridge and marveling at the ornate palaces lining the waterway. We checked into a charming boutique hotel near Campo Santa Margherita, a lively square filled with students, locals, and the occasional street performer. After settling in, we wandered through the narrow alleys, getting delightfully lost and stumbling upon hidden bridges, quaint shops, and cozy cafes. Dinner was at a local trattoria, where we indulged in Cicchetti, Venetian tapas, and a glass of Prosecco, toasting to the start of our Venetian adventure. Exploring the heart of Venice. We started our day early at St. Mark's Square, Piazza San Marco, beating the crowds to admire the breathtaking St. Mark's Basilica. The golden mosaics glittered in the morning light, and the intricate details of the Pala d'Oro left us in awe. Next, we visited the Doge's palace, where we wandered through opulent halls, crossed the Bridge of Sighs, and learned about Venice's fascinating history as a maritime republic. After a leisurely lunch of sard and sour, sweet and sour sardines, at a canal-side restaurant, we climbed the Campanile di San Marco for panoramic views of the city. The red rooftops, winding canals, and distant islands of the lagoon were a sight to behold. In the afternoon, we explored the Rialto market, where vendors sold fresh seafood, colorful produce, and local delicacies. We picked up some Venetian biscuits and a bottle of wine for picnic later. As the sun set, we took a gondola ride through the quieter canals, serenaded by our gondolier's melodic voice. The city felt even more magical as the lights reflected off the water. Island hopping in the lagoon. We dedicated our third day to exploring the Venetian islands. First stop, Murano, famous for its glass-making tradition. We watched skilled artisans create delicate glass sculptures and bought a small souvenir to remember the experience. Next, we headed to Burano, a postcard-perfect island known for its brightly colored houses and lace-making. We wandered the streets, snapping photos, and enjoying a seafood lunch at a family-run restaurant. Our final stop was Torcello, a quiet and historic island with the ancient Cathedral of Santa Maria Assunta. The peaceful atmosphere was a welcome contrast to the bustling streets of Venice. Back in the city, we enjoyed a romantic dinner of risotto al nero di seppia, squid ink risotto, and shared stories of the day's adventures. Art and hidden gems. We began our day at the Gallery dell'Accademia, home to masterpieces by Venetian artists like Titian, Tintoretto, and Veronese. The grandeur of the paintings and the stories behind them left us inspired. Next, we visited the Peggy Guggenheim Collection, a modern art museum housed in a stunning palazzo on the Grand Canal. The works of Picasso, Pollock, and Dali were a fascinating contrast to the classical art we had seen earlier. In the afternoon, we ventured off the beaten path to explore lesser-known neighborhoods like Cannaregio and Dorsoduro. We discovered quiet canals, local bakeries, and charming squares where children played and elderly residents chatted. We stopped for spritz at a canal-side bar, soaking in the laid-back vibe of Venetian life. As evening fell, we attended a Vivaldi concert in a historic church, the music echoing beautifully in the ornate space. It was the perfect way to end our day. Farewell to Venice. On our final morning, we took a leisurely stroll through Giardini della Biennale, a peaceful park with views of the lagoon. We revisited some of our favorite spots, savoring our last moments in the city. Before leaving, we enjoyed a final meal of bigoli and salsa, pasta with anchovy sauce, and raised a glass of Amarone to the unforgettable memories we had made. As we boarded the Vaporetto to the train station, we watched Venice slowly fade into the distance, its beauty etched in our hearts. Venice had been everything we dreamed of and more, a city of romance, history, and endless wonder. Tips for travelers. Best time to visit: spring, April, May, or fall, September, October, for pleasant weather and fewer crowds. Getting around. Use the vaporetto for longer distances and explore on foot to discover hidden gems. Must-try foods: Cicchetti, sard and sar, risotto al nero di seppia, and tiramisu. Packing tips: comfortable walking shoes and a light jacket for evenings by the water. Venice is a city that captures the imagination and leaves a lasting impression. Whether it's your first visit or your 10th, there's always something new to discover in this enchanting floating city.